the fact that he hasn't even been able to throw a ball yet. Okay,
Right.
but I think he's very serious about coming back next year.
Really?
If he can, you know, work on his arm and
But
do the things he has to do.
not with the Red Sox, though.
Well, he'd like to come back with the Red Sox. All right, whether they would take a chance on him next year.
The kind of money he wants.
I know what I mean. He's making $8 million this year, and he's not putting another pitch. Whether he comes back this year, I think, is kind of a stretch.
Yeah.
But he's going to try it because if he
I know
starts
he's gonna
throwing,
try it.
he'll try it, and maybe beginning of
throwing soon.
August, you know, maybe, I don't know, you know.
Okay, we'll wait and see on that. Let's talk a minute about Daisuke. Is Daisuke what the Red Sox expected when they signed him and all the hoopla? Did they get what they thought they were getting? Well,
I thought they were. With all the hoopla, I think that maybe they weren't going to, and they probably even knew they weren't going to get like a Beckett or a future Nolan Ryan or something like that. But I think they really felt they were going to get a number 2 or 3 starter for for a good number of years because of his age, right? And
has he lived to that expectation? Has he lived up
well,
to it, in our opinion?
I think this year he's kind of lived up to being a second and third starter. Okay, I think with all the hoopla and everything last year, and the thing I think I mentioned to you last year was the fact that his biggest adjustment is to face major league hitters in this country, and they're better hitters than they are in Japan.
Well, he's had a year now under his belt, so we assume he would be a little bit.
So now I think he's getting hitters out like he's supposed to get them out. His big problem, obviously, is control.
Yeah.
You know, when he gets in that mode where he can't get the ball over the plate, which is like any pitcher, obviously, you know. But when he throws strike, he's got 3, 4 decent pitches. Okay. So I think he's going to be what the Red Sox expected, which is not a number 1 guy. Okay. But a second or third definite major league starter. So and if he gets that, and they get 4 or 5 years out of him, then it's worth the money.
I think that would be a good thing. It seems as though, Dick, the Sox have another good shot this year. Do you think they have a shot at this whole thing again this year?
I think they have another shot at it, definitely, at the playoffs. I mean, they have a good chance to win the division, okay? And at the worst, okay, be a wild card. Now, again, getting in the playoffs, again, sometimes a turkey shoot, because whoever gets hot sometimes, in the end of September, sometimes, will carry over. I mean, look how hot Colorado got last year and ended up getting into the World Series, but they really weren't as good a team as the Red Sox. But they have a shot at it. But again, Dick, injuries sometimes, play into it. If guys get hurt, if your rotation goes down, and if they stay healthy, and they stayed healthy last year.
But they should be around.
Oh, definitely.
And who knows?
They have probably the best chance to win the division. Really. Although the division is going to be a little bit tougher this year, because Tampa Bay's improved. Okay, Toronto will bounce back. They've got some pretty good pitching. All right. Baltimore, I don't think will stay afloat that long, but I think it'll be a little tougher this year.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they got a shot at it, and they'll hang in there.
So buy your furniture. Okay, buy your furniture from
I missed out on that deal. I missed out on that one. Dick, some managers I've been reading favor a 5th umpire in the broadcast booth to monitor replays and be the official scorer, because sometimes there's controversy. Any thoughts on that, to have an umpire in the booth and let him be the official scorer?
There's been some talk about it. Personally, I think it's a good idea not to score the game as far as hits and errors. I think you have to leave that to the regular official scores, which usually are paper guys. But I think anything that's controversial as far as ground rule doubles, balls fair or foul, okay, that type of thing, or even interpretation of a rule, okay, I think it's a good idea, because so many times you see, you look, like yesterday there was a game, it was Force of Us, I forget who it was for Tampa Bay. I think it was the third baseman hit a ball that hit right on the foul line. Now, the third base umpire should have been able to see that, because he's behind the bag, and he's supposed to go down the line. You've got 4 umpires. Sometimes they don't get out far enough, and take a look at it. But that ball was a double, okay? Now, if you had instant replay, okay, where they could go to the booth and say, then the umpire could say the ball was fair, they changed the ruling, okay, and it's a fair ball. So I definitely agree with that. I think it'd be a good thing.
Maybe they should do it on an experimental basis, like for a year, and see how it works.
They usually do something like that, and then if it works, if it doesn't, they drop it.
They keep it if it doesn't.
I think it's a good idea.
All right. Dick, I want to switch to high school sports, if you don't mind, for a minute.
Absolutely.
Some sports in high school, Watertown included, struggle. Some are very successful. Watertown High baseball, the kids try awful hard. The coach works hard, but they just seem to have problems. Watertown doesn't feel the girls' softball team didn't get enough girls to go out for it, but yet the boys and girls' basketball teams win every year. Field hockey wins every year. Are kids less interested in sports, some sports, or they want to be with a winner, do you think? If you're a winner, they go out. If you're not a winner, they stay away.
Well, that's a very good point, Dick. I think, you know as I do in the teaching profession, kids like quick success. You know, a lot of kids want to get successful real quick. It takes a lot of work. Baseball takes a lot of work. Not that basketball and other sports don't, but the one thing about Watertown, and only from my experience, is there's no Legion team here, okay? There's no place to really, except for Babe Ruth, you know, and so these kids, for the most part, if they're in a successful basketball program, they're going to go to a basketball camp in the summer.
Well, they're playing from the 4th grade on in basketball,
right,
I know.
Right.
And I don't know if baseball's doing
No,
that.
Baseball just has, you know, they basically
Little League,
basically in Babe Ruth, okay? And now you know it's hard to field a JV team, you know, that type of thing. Junior high teams, you know, since we used to have the East, the West junior highs, we used to play each other.
Shame, I think.
So kids aren't playing as much baseball, all right? And then they kind of go to the path of least resistance, right? And the numbers obviously aren't big.
Yeah,
but
that's true. That's
baseball, I played Legion ball when I was coming up, you know. We had American Legion, which helped me a great deal to improve my skills in the summer. And the kids, you know, you're indoors for 4 weeks because of the cold weather, and then by the time the baseball season's over, now the good weather comes, and you don't play in the summer. You know, so it's very difficult to develop your skills, and I think that's part of it because Joe Choa does a terrific job. He has clinics, and
I'm not criticizing.
Oh no,
I
know it, and it's frustrating. I know it was frustrating for me too.
You know,
you know,
to be successful.
it is hard to be successful.
When you see the boys basketball year in and year out, and they don't have great. Tall kids, big kids, but they're in there always.
And once you start winning in a particular sport, it kind of breeds kids coming out, and they all want to be part of it.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Dick, one other thing. The MIAA has a new zero tolerance policy about athletes who are caught drinking or using tobacco, smoking or chewing or whatever. First violation, they get 25%. They're out of 25% of all the games. Can't play. Second time they get caught, 60% of the games they're out of. And the third violation, they got to go into a treatment program and they can't play at all. What do you think?
Oh, I'm fine with that. I think we've got to really nip that at the bud.
Strong enough?
Strong enough.
Yeah,
strong enough. Yeah.
So give them a shot, you know, and miss some games. But if you keep doing it, and I'm not sure how many kids are using tobacco or using drugs today in school. I would hope not many, but you never know.
You never know, and there was just a thing on TV recently about the increase in steroids use for high school athletes to try to get themselves bigger. So, you know, it's a tough situation because sometimes some of our role models don't always become good role models, you know, as far as drinking and as far as, you know, in the minor leagues, we can't chew tobacco, but in the big leagues, you can. So you're in AAA, and you've got
Terry
to dip
stopped
in your
chewing, didn't he?
He tried, but he lost 20 grand to Larry Lucchino because he couldn't make it.
Is he into gum now, isn't he?
He's into gum a little bit, you know, but sometimes I think he'll slip or something like that. But it's not easy because it is addictive, you know. And then people say, well, what's tobacco going to do? But there's been people that have had gum surgery and have lost their chins.
Lip cancer, mouth cancer, all kinds of
it's not good. It's not good.
Well, you know, Dick, I interviewed a world champion girl weightlifter a couple of weeks ago. And she insisted that when I introduced her that she said, I am drug, steroid-free world champion. She said, you have to say that. So she was into it, telling kids, I don't use drugs, I don't use steroids, and I can be a world champion. So it was pretty interesting that she happened to say that.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Dick, time is up already. So I want to thank you again for coming to Watertown Sports Time. Be with us. Best of luck with the Red Sox for this year. And folks, we want to thank you for tuning in to Watertown Sports Talk. And be sure you look at us next time. Got another interesting guest coming up for you.
All right.
Thanks.